Hi, welcome back to my lymphoma story. This is part 5, which is pre-CAR T bits and bobs, things you need to do prior to starting CAR T therapy. If those of you that don't know what CAR T is, I'll explain in layman's terms. I'm not a doctor, so basically, your T cells in your body are there to fight off infections, diseases, things like that. But the problem with cancer is extremely clever and very difficult for the T cells to recognize. So that's why cancer thrives. So the idea is for CAR T therapy, they remove your T cells from your body, send them off to a laboratory, genetically modify them, and then grow them and manufacture them so there's a sufficient amount to then return to your body and then hopefully fight off the cancer, kill off the cancer, and make you better. That's the theory behind it. There's many different types of CAR T therapy manufactured by different people. The CAR T I was scheduled to receive was called Yescarta. Another name for that, pardon me, is Axicell, where my cells would hopefully go off to Holland. They genetically modify them and then return them. So mine would be Holland, but all around the world, lots of different places genetically modify them. So prior to doing having the CAR T therapy, there's a few different things you need to do. So the first thing for me on the 7th of June 24 was to have a CT scan. This is so they have an up-to-date picture of where you're at prior to the CAR T, so they've got something that they can refer back to after the CAR T and do a bit of a comparison. So as I said, I had that on the 7th of June 24. The next thing you have to do is T-cell harvesting, or another name for that is apheresis. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And that's basically where they remove your T-cells from your body, as I mentioned before, and send them off to the lab. So I received that, just checking my dates, on the 10th of June 24. And then those cells are in the laboratory for approximately 4 weeks until there's a sufficient amount grown and prepared, ready, and returned back to your hospital for you to receive. So not everybody does, but a lot of people that receive CAR T have what they call a bridging therapy. It could be a bit of chemo, it could be radiotherapy, it could be all sorts of different things. However, for me, the proposed idea was for me to receive radiotherapy. It's, in their opinion, would give the CAR T a much better success of working. Radiotherapy, for those of you that don't realise, is similar. Again, it's different to a CT scanner, but it's sort of similar thing where you lie down and stay still in the same spot, and the machine actually rotates around you. And it locates and it targets the actual directly to, hopefully the aim is to direct directly to the cancer and not any other organs or parts of your body. So it really it's a very accurate targeting process, to the point that to make sure that the machine is in the same position and you're lying in the same position every time you have the treatment, they tattoo a tiny little dot at the top center of your torso, so they can line up the machine with a tattooed dot. No one would ever know that dot's there, to be honest, unless I pointed it out to them. So it retargets every time you have the session, and hopefully targets the same bits. And I was set to receive 10 sessions starting on a Monday, and they would never do more than 3 on the trot. So I would have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, have a day of rest on the Thursday, and then the Friday and Saturday, and then similar the following week until I completed the 10 sessions. Each session for me would target my 75 millimeter tumour, and also my 2 smaller portions, one which was near a rib and one which was my lower rib and near the base of my spine. So the idea is that it reduces the cancer, as I say, to give CAR T a better fighting chance. Now, radiotherapy, I actually found not too bad. I did have a few side effects from it. I did find it easier to go through than the RCHOP chemotherapy. I did manage that, the radiotherapy, much better than that. I felt very tired throughout the course of the treatment, the 2-week treatment. A bit nauseous from time to time, and I lost my appetite. But I say I lost my appetite, that maybe that was down to the cancer, but I think it was down to the radiotherapy. But once that was done, you know, that's that out the way, and then you're moving forwards. After that, I had to do a disease and organ assessment, which included many items, such as an ECG, an echocardiogram to check that your heart is okay, and I had blood tests. I'd already had the CT scan, kidney checks, bone marrow checks, things like that. All these items are to make sure that you're fit enough to receive the CAR T treatment, because it can take it out of you. You need to be a certain level of fitness and in order to receive the CAR T. So once all those checks are completed and you're deemed fit enough to receive it, then we had a clinical appointment where they cover all the side effects, all the issues and the process from start to finish of receiving the CAR T treatment, the cells back in the body, which is what they call the infusion day. Day 0, as it's known. And if you're happy to go along and want to proceed with all that, then you would sign all your consent forms that are issued to you. And then you then move on to the next stage in preparation for receiving your cells, and that is lymphodepletion, which is a quick 3 or 4 day stint of chemotherapy. And the idea of the chemotherapy, the lymphodepletion, is to kill off the T cells in your body that are remaining in your body, ready to make room for the new ones that you're going to receive back to your blood once the lab has finished with them. So that chemotherapy I didn't find too bad at all. Fairly straightforward to go through. It's 3 or 4 days worth, and certainly nothing like RCHOP was for me. It's fairly straightforward and manageable. Well, I found it was anyway. So once you've had the lymphodepletion, you've now made room for you to receive your cells and ready to start the actual CAR T therapy. Now that will be part 6 of my lymphoma story. I'll let you know how I get on then, and the process of receiving those cells back. I'd like to thank everybody for watching my videos. I hope you're still enjoying them and find it informative, or at least helpful for someone out there. Please like and share if you're enjoying them. It will help me and help me spread the word a little bit more. The idea of these videos is to try and help other people in the similar situation to myself. Hopefully we can do that. So I appreciate all your views and your thumbs up. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much, and I will see you for my CAR T therapy, which will be in part 6. Thank you very much. Stop recording.